Who's missing GTFO? Also missing method raid tools. Weak Horrors has had an update, so a lot of users, a few users, so Fell, Rubber, Shy, who's are out of date on Weak Horrors. And Weak Horror itself, the actual baseline. And Rubber, there's a Weak Horror for the raid itself, which has got the callouts for the mechanics you can grab from Discord. WoW Up has it, and so does Curse 4's. Both of them had the update, because I just had it on both my screens before I came into the game. Right, tell if I can split screen. Yeah, it literally just happened in the last couple of minutes, I think. Right, let's get that up as well. No worries. Just need to arrange groups very quickly. DPS. I don't know, because I'm currently doing rebuild of groups. So, Rocco, you need to assign a push to talk key for the channel. Obviously, you still need an invite, don't you? Something important to get Frosty out. Frosty, you in game? You're in now. So, as a quick point, Rocco, if you loot anything and anything pops up on your screen, hit pass on it. We allocate loot based on percentage upgrades, which is run through Droptimizer. If you're unsure of what that is, then you'll need to ask somebody after raid to explain it to you. Everyone make sure that you have ran your Droptimizers for max upgrade, off spec, and if you've not used your catalyst charges, include catalyst items. Yeah, because I can kick fuck out of people. I like to feel contact with my fucking bare feet whenever I kick them square in the jaw. I don't know, I've got a fucking Tauren in my face. Nope. Yeah. Right. Can everybody eat the feast that's sitting out, please? Can we get a warrior buff as well, please? So, Rocco, you need to click on the feast that everyone's gang fucking around. Thing that the Tauren's jumping in. That just sounds fucking so wrong on so many levels. I'll get in there. You're bummed out tonight. I've not been judgmental. Yes, it should be on right now, actually. Right. Right, so you are at your computer then. There was food sitting out a minute ago that you've missed. I need a warrior buff, which comes from you. She's called Battle Shout. Right, can you click your buff for Battle Shout? That would be ideal. Anytime. Does anybody know what language Rocco speaks? Okay. We'll go with Bragg. Bragg, can you explain, in case he doesn't understand Jockinese? waste any more time. Usual stuff. Dump the stuff at the side. Kite the rays through it. Don't get knocked into it. No, we'll just keep it back. There will be space. Actually, what we need is the markers to be right at the edge. So it's not on the chain links, it's right at the back along that edge. Oh no, wait, you need the space to get through it, don't you? Yeah, so it is. It's literally just one line after another. So once the first line goes down, you then move forward one line and just leave a small gap between each row so that you've got the space to kite behind it and run around it. Right. Quick ready check.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bloodlust.
Toned bus.
Stampeding roar.
Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Taunted. Power infused.
Watch your step. Toned bus. Watch your step.
Gotcha.
Ancestral guidance. Divine
Pushback in.
flourish.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Watch your step.
CR slim.
Toned bus.
Rebirth.
Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Mana tide. Taunted. Salvation.
Watch your step.
Don't run that through the tanks.
Tranquility.
Watch your step.
Whenever you drop the
Toned
pools,
bus.
put them in a straight line, stop running them backwards.
Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Symbol of hope. Taunted. Flourish.
Watch your step.
If you leave
Toned
after
bus.
you just run about aimlessly with it.
Pushback incoming.
Ancestral guidance.
Watch your step.
All you need to do is kite into the puddle. They get out of the way of it.
Power infusion.
Watch your step. Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Healing tide.
It's a bit of a bad placement for them. Way out.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Tranquility. Spirit link.
Target you defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming. Heal CD. Heal CD.
That's 20 degrees window.
Taunt boss.
Mana tide.
Watch your step. Target you defensive. Pushback incoming.
Taunted. Ancestral guidance.
Taunt boss. Laser on you. Run. Heal CD. Watch your step. Target you.
Swap.
Pushback incoming.
Taunted.
Heal CD. Laser on you. Run. Defensive. Heal CD. Watch your step.
Yeah. That's about it, I think. Take it.
Target you. Pushback incoming. Defensive. Heal CD.
So, quick analytic. Put the pools in one straight line, making it easy for folk to kite the beam into them. Stop spreading them all over the fucking
Taunt
platform.
boss.
You're making it harder for yourselves by spreading it all over the place. One straight line, easy to locate, easy to get rid of. Everyone eat the feast.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Bloodlust.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Power infusion.
I'm just like that.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Watch your step.
Go on.
Watch your step.
Yeah, no.
Rebirth.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Divine him.
Taunt boss.
Mana tide.
Watch your step. Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming. Watch your step.
Healing tide. Salvation.
Defensive. LCD. Watch your step. Taunt boss.
One more.
Pushback incoming.
He's had a debuff and then I hit my second.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
So combat its current rate should finish in 230. Yeah, I'm not for 240.
Taunt boss. Pushback incoming.
Play a bit more forward.
Watch your step. Pushback incoming.
Everyone quickly release and repair. Before we go any further, this isn't a harsh point, but Rocco, heroic raiding's not for you. You've not understood the mechanics of normal raid. You're under geared for being here and your DPS is pretty low. What I would suggest is that during the week is have a chat with some of us so that you are able to come heroic raid with us on Sunday. Get to know the mechanics, watch YouTube videos, read up on some strats, because you dumped the shit right on top of yourself and then you didn't move out with the beam, so you've got no concept of what's going on in the fight. You've got no enchants, your gear's way under what you'd expect to find in heroic. So I'm really sorry to say, but I'm going to have to drop you from the remainder of the evening. Rockle. Yeah, we've been heroic raiding for a little bit the last 3 weeks. No, continuation. We continue the heroic raid on Sunday. Yep. It's all about progression. We finished the raid on normal last Sunday, so no need to come back to it. What's that? All right. Right. I've got no idea, Rocco, if you even heard any of that, but yeah, I'm gonna. 70 pound a feast now. Oh, so.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Bloodlust.
Defensive.
Taunted. Power infusion.
Just drag him a little bit now.
Pushback incoming.
So, I mean, that's really
Taunt
bad placement.
boss.
That needs to be right back.
Watch your step.
Beam.
Watch your step.
Shut the ground.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Divine him.
Taunt boss. Watch your step. Defensive.
Taunted. Flourish. Mana tide.
Pushback incoming. Watch your step.
Healing tide. Salvation.
Taunt boss.
No, it was. I'd use that trinket.
Watch your step. Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback in. Taunt boss. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Magnets.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Power infusion.
Taunt boss.
Flourish.
Watch your step.
Go on.
Defensive. Pushback incoming.
Taunted. Tranquility.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Ancestral guidance.
Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Divine hit. Taunted. Manitai. Symbol of hope.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Healing tide.
Pushback incoming.
Finally, its grip weakens.
That was a bit
The
slow in
solid
last
some
film.
power that can tear at our minds.
The betrayer holds no such power, my son. Sinister forces are awakening. They sense your presence. I am but an echo. I cannot stop intruders from attempting to plunder my secrets.
Because
My heirs
I
have
didn't form
arrived
the
at
party,
Wickedness,
I'll take it
no
and choose not
outsider
to.
claims what is rightfully yours. I assume you have heard many stories of this place and the role it played in my downfall. Do not let them temper your perception. These halls
Whenever they was just
are
passed
your
when they looked through
birthright,
it.
and the outsiders must not be allowed to take them from you.
Secure our perimeter. Rathian, I will take a contingent down these halls and root out Sargeras. You take the other path and see what you can find.
A wise plan. I shall accompany both of you and lend what aid I can.
No, just on the in-game one, just so I could do this. But because Omega formed the group, it's just not set it as my fucking head. Yeah. Because you formed the group rather than me, I didn't have the ability to tell it I wanted it to use RC Loot Council. Because I manually told it to use those two items as things I wanted it to look at. Full arm is a transmog, and the lowest, or the highest roll, sorry, is DK with 99. So, which is finally awarded. I've not got it in my bag. No, everyone else was transmog. Well, there was you, me, Shy, Bragg, and Vinxie all asked for its transmog. The next one on the row is me at 89. So it's up to you. Dagger's transmog as well. And Lemon's the highest, 87. Well, you do what you want, mate. That's fine, because Oh. Interesting to think. Look, is somebody just left? Uh, So the point, so the thing about picking up an extra healer actually shouldn't really affect the overall thing. % extra mechanics. No, it doesn't really make any difference.
Power infusion. Tranquilizing shot. Tranquilizing shot. Tranquilizing shot. Tranquilizing shot.
See that?
Tranquilizing shot. Taunted. Power infusion. Tranquilizing shot.
Halls I forged wonders that would save show their obedience.
I was also one previous incarnation attempted to destroy.
You are
Power infusion.
Shadow. Influential forces combine. Learn to harness them together.
Just 1, 3 left, 2, 4 right. Actually, hang on. Put it that way. So 1 and 3 to the left, 2 and 4 to the right. Swap after the big soak on the right. Bloodlust in phase 2. Stack in for the big soak. When we move out of the big soak, we're going to move the boss with his counterclockwise. So we move from the 12 o'clock through to the 3 o'clock and move it round each time. And put the fucking swirly shit towards the centre of the room. So you're moving back towards the boss each time. As we look at it. So 12 o'clock being where the boss spawns in. 3 o'clock being your position. Yeah. No, from left to right. So going from where the boss spawns to... Yeah, no. So going from where the boss spawns in over to Group 2's location and then moving round to the door, then over to here and then back up to the top. So it goes around. Flasks for some use.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So he needs to fucking stand round at the bottom. Does it bait towards us? Thumbs out. Towards the grid.
Watch your
Power infusions.
Avoid odds on side one. Option the odds will be falling on us.
AOE incoming.
Like so.
Anti-magical guidance.
The purple sword. Swap sides. Stand out.
Watch your
Avoid the flaps and odds.
AOE incoming.
Like so.
Stampeding roar.
Swap sides.
Stampeding roar. Tranquilizing shot.
Whirlwinds come to our side. Individual soaks.
Watch orb.
Avoid the orbs.
AOE incoming.
Avoid
Salvation.
Heal CD.
Flourish.
Rubber, you should have been on this side.
Watch orb.
Heal CD.
AOE incoming.
Power infused stampeding roar.
Heal CD.
Tranquility.
Fuck all else to give like healings and mitigations. Yeah, I could do it. Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Symbol of hope. Mana tide.
Comes out. So towards the centre.
Stampeding roar.
Help soak.
Big soak. Paladin, big soak. Avoid the collapsing over.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Help soak.
Soak.
Ancestral guide. Anti-magic zone. Wind rush. Stampeding roar. Divine him.
We'll
Gateway.
drop the next set of bombs the way we just came from. Bombs over to where we just came from.
Help soak. Defensive.
Taunted.
Help soak.
Everyone in.
Spirit link. Flourish.
Everyone out. Next set of bombs over where we just came from again.
Healing
Help
shot.
soak. Defensive.
Taunted. Salvation.
Help soak.
Everyone in for soak.
Anti-magic zone.
Oh,
Stampeding roar.
and dump them where we just came from.
Help soak. Defensive.
Taunted. Ancestral
Help them.
guidance.
Everyone in. Everyone in.
Heal CD.
Flourish.
You could have been
Man
asking for
attack.
another halfway through it instead of waiting until we could run.
Symbol of hope. Taunted.
Target you. Help soak.
Gateway.
Help soak.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just move out of the way.
Defensive.
See how- Chicago.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Power infusion. Gateway.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Anti-magic
Divine
zone. Gateway.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Ancestral guidance. Stampeding roar.
Watch orb.
LCD.
AOE incoming.
Salvation.
LCD. Heal CD. Heal CD.
Healing time. Tranquility. Bloodlust.
Defensive.
Taunted. Mana tide.
Help
Flourish. Power infusion.
Help soak.
Anti-magic zone. Stampeding roar.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Heal CD.
Stampeding roar.
Help soak.
Ancestral guidance.
Help soak.
Divine hit. Wind rush. Spirit link.
Defensive.
Taunt. Innervate.
A pitiful attempt.
Help soak.
A pitiful attempt. Withering shade.
Help soak.
Withering shade. Blistering twilight.
Help soak.
Withering shade.
Help soak.
Consumes all. A pitiful attempt. Withering shade. Blistering twilight. A pitiful attempt.
Help soak.
A pitiful attempt. No power can overcome us.
Doesn't it?
It's too far away.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Power infusion.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Wind rush. Anti-magic zone. Divine him.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Symbol of hope.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Anti-magic zone. Salvation. Healing time.
That's that fire thing you were asking about the other day there.
Bloodlust. Power infusion. Mana tide.
Help soak.
Stampeding roar.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Help soak.
Ancestral magic zone. Wind rush.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Help soak. Help soak.
Spirit Link.
That's not making sense.
Stampeding Roar. Divine Hint.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Help soak.
Power Infusion.
Help soak.
Symbol of Hope.
Heal CD.
Defensive. Target you. Help soak.
Heal CD.
Defensive.
Heal CD.
Too windy here. Yep. So we're working them around the room, drag them. So the first set goes towards the middle, and then the next set goes. So it means there's essentially going to be 5 locations that they can be put at. One's in the middle, one's where the boss was, and then it's sort of following where the boss was each time previously. So yeah, it should really just be. Yeah. Ideally, you want to actually put them in an extended line, one straight line. So that means that these are all facing towards the boss, meaning that when the whirlwinds come out, they come out in the same direction. So if these are all facing one way, just one big straight line, same as we do in the first boss, put everything in a straight line, facing towards the boss, the whirlwinds all trigger and go away from the boss because they go out at a 45-degree angle. And then it means that those that didn't have puddles to deal with, and especially tanks, we don't need to jump about and move about and relocate and fiddle about. Meaning then that when we've got to do a tank swap, when one of us has to move to the side and pull the aggro, there's not going to be a cone facing us either. DK will be back in 10 minutes, he's just doing a little one. Look, these are very simple kind of mechanics to kind of get your head around when you think about it. Look, the game isn't randomized. Actions are generated on a percentage chance, but the way that the mechanics react are all pretty much the same, or they always have the same outcome. An example of this is in, what's the one where the fucking boss in the dungeon just now burrows underground, moves about like a vase? Yeah, Neltharion's lair. So the boss burrows underground, and there's like 5 or 6 vellums, big massive like fucking Egyptian things, move around the platform. You can track which one is the boss. It's not a random one that he goes to. So a randomized sequence that he does, but where it ends up is always the one that he started at. So it's not a, oh well, it's maybe that one over there. It's always the one that moved. You can also bait the vases that appear before the boss burrows and put them on top of each other. All the tank does is moves 90 degrees to the right, and the two things spawn on top of each other, making it easy for the DPS. Go to the last boss, everyone stacks under the boss's arm, and you bait the big spike under him, meaning that the ad spawns directly either in front of it or under it, stunning it. So it means then that you can deal with mechanics. Everything is set sequences. It's not randomized, it's only random who gets it, but the mechanics are always within a parameter. The game's built on an architect that it's got to have variables that is if, ands, ors. So therefore it's all got to conform to the rules that were written into the mechanics. And once you understand how the sequence of those rules work, boss fights don't become hard. And that's why we come up with strats on how to do them. And why a lot of them are very similar, because most mechanics might look different, they might have a slightly different effect to them, but the actual governing logic that was written into them is just a copy-paste exercise for Blizzard. And it's why you'll hear us referring to old boss fights for certain things as well. Like you'll hear me saying, like, form a ring around the boss, like we done on Stompy, which was season 3 of Shadowlands, for those that were about for it, which was Hydra something or other. What was the actual name of that boss? What was the actual name of it? Senior, can you remember? Sepulchre. Halumdris the Reclusant or something. Yeah, that's the one. So you'll find, so it formed orbs, and the orbs had to be kept out for the boss. The way we ran the strat for the fight was formed a ring around the boss and kicked the orbs out. We did the exact same thing on the one of the bosses in here now. Blizzard doesn't come up with new mechanics, they just come up with new looks to mechanics. But yeah, the idea is with this one is you drop them in one straight line, and then the whirlwinds, and you look at the boss, and the whirlwind should branch out from you because you're able to run out of it once you drop it. You don't need to run to the side or anything. You run straight out it. So therefore, the whirlwinds have left you at 45-degree angles. Or a 45-degree in each one thereafter being 90. And if you put them all on the same side, it means then that people know where they're coming from. Look, the only thing that makes raiding hard is if people do random things. If you keep it to very simple, basic formats, and everyone follows the same format, then everyone sort of does the same thing. In fact, DK had sent me a video the other day there. It was actually a really good point, and it was to do with, wait to see if I can find it. It was done by Stratnos, I think it was, and it was talking about predictability. Becoming a better WoW raider is predictability. And I'm going to link it for you so that you can have a watch at it later. But the general point, and it was something that I'd mentioned at the start of the season, why me and Xenia does really well when we're doing stuff together, is because I'm predictable in my actions, and Xenia's played with me for long enough now to know that when a certain type of mechanic comes in, what direction I'm going to head in. I mean, therefore she knows how I'm going to react. It's a predictable action. And if everyone gets used to that mindset of, right, the tanks are always going to do this, the DPS is always going to do that, therefore that's how we deal with that, that's how we move around it. It's a predictable pattern. And it was like my other point I mentioned the other day there, on Saturday, about repetitiveness. You practice something so many times, doing it so much the same way, that it becomes a second nature action, and therefore it is no longer a random sequence, because it is, you run it the same way every time that it becomes a drill. The military refer to it as drills become skills. You drill it so many times that it becomes a skilled sequence of things that you do. We all do it in life. Who here drives a car? Yeah, it's muscle memory. You get into your car, you put the key in the ignition, you reach for your seatbelt, you clip the seatbelt on, you dip the clutch, you take out a gear, you start the engine. You don't think about those sequences, but I can guarantee you, every time you start a car, you follow the exact same pattern. Might not be the exact same as that, but you follow a predictable set of events. And it's because you've done it so many times, your brain doesn't think about it. You get into it. It's the same with people, you hear folks saying about, fuck me, I don't remember that drive to work the other day there. Like, I totally zoned out, don't remember it. Because your brain becomes so used to that journey that it becomes that muscle memory. It's a repeatable action that you don't need to think about it. It's the same with this. And it's why I keep saying, sorry, just give me a second. It's why I keep saying, go and do the LFR. Don't go, oh, LFR doesn't give me any loot, doesn't give me anything. It allows you to practice. I ran about 100 LFR boss runs last season. Not because I needed the loot from it, but because I wanted to make sure I'd nailed every fucking single thing I needed to in every boss. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the predictable actions of even pug players, that if I was bringing them in, that I knew what they were going to try and do. There's actually an experiment thing, I can't remember the name of it. It's to do with, if you drop 1,000 ball bearings down a straight set of lines, you end up with a curve. I can't remember the name of this, but it starts off with look very small in the size and it peaks in the centre. And it's because the drop mechanism, even though those marbles are free to go anywhere, or the ball bearings are free to go anywhere in the drop, the sort of general trend is they form an arch. And it's just that's the predictable nature of people. You will always find folk that conform to what's deemed as the norm. You'll always go and do the same sort of actions. You'll always find a trend within society that people will go and do the same things. And like Phil's mentioning, it's like you can ask somebody to explain how do you do something, but if you've been doing it for so long, you struggle to actually explain it. You just kind of do it. It's just, but you don't need to be running it. Like, simply just like, watch things, read things, like whatever's. Everyone's got a different preferred learning style. There is deemed to be three primary learning functions. There is actually fucking hundreds of them, but as a basic concept, three primary abilities to learn from. There is people that are auditorial, that can sit and listen to how something's done, and they can then mentally visualize it happening. You get people that are visual learners, so either watching or reading, so watching YouTube videos or reading guides. And then the last one is kinesthetic, which is people that learn through practical activity. So very touchy feely and need to be doing it. You do get hybrids of it, and you get people that can take on different forms. And there is sublime constructs before anybody says that there's more. There's fucking hundreds, but three primary, and that's the three primary. So find your one and utilize it. If you learn through videos, there's always like downtimes though that you can look up stuff. I'm not having digs at people. Look, this is by no means. DK, you back yet, mate? Look, there sort of becomes this eureka moment when you watch something and you see it, you go, fuck, I get it now. I get that mechanic. Sometimes it takes people slightly longer than others, but if you watch the stuff that I'm pointing out, you will see what I'm meaning. Like, you'll just suddenly get this fucking epiphany moment and you'll go, do you know something? I actually can see it. I can see what he's meaning. Like, these mechanics don't change, they always follow the same rules. It's the one that you never want to take a fucking hunter with pets. Or a warlock. Slamming. I'm pretty sure Slamming you fucking had a pet at one point. I think it was Matty that was the first one. It was his pet, and then it was your warlock pets on the second attempt after we'd used a different raid ID. Yeah. Sure, right? Right, is everyone back? Huh? I'll not ask. Hello. Hola, she. Please come up. Vinci, are you with us? I mean, I thought you'd had a fucking commode by now. He's about that age bracket, is he not? For a commode? Yeah, Vinci, you not got a commode installed yet? Commode at a toilet fucking chair. Right.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Power infusion.
Bombs towards the door.
Stampeding
Watch
roar.
your AOE incoming.
Divine him. Anti-magic zone. Ancestral guidance.
Bombs to the door. Or so they need to go towards the door.
Watch your AOE incoming. Watch your AOE incoming.
Healing tide.
LCD. LCD.
Right, for those that are...
Watch your
Nobody release after this. Oh, it's fucking disappeared. If you'd have looked all or most of the purple bombs had been dropped in a straight line along that back, and it was creeping closer towards the eye. That's what we want. Nice, straight, uniform stuff. Makes it so much easier to then predict what people's going to do next, rather than dumping it in random places. What DK's talking about. It's there's time between it. If people move straight after the soak, then there shouldn't be a reason for it to be baited to the opposite side. Because the mechanic strat is soak, then it's the move out from group one from the collapsing void, then it's the tornadoes. So the folk that was going from group one side to group two's should have already moved away from the collapsing void because the soak was already done on the other side first. So they're moving in between. The collapsing void means that group two isn't anywhere near it. They then come over to the boss. Then by that time, group one is already in position. Then the whirlwinds come. It's all a set sequence of events.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Bombs towards the door.
Power infusion.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
So
Anti-magic zone. Anti-magic zone. Divine him.
now. So now you should be swapping. Straight line. Back
Watch orb.
through the orb.
AOE incoming.
Damage. Swap.
LCD.
Salvation.
Heal CD. Heal CD.
Bombs out.
Watch orb.
Through the collapse.
AOE incoming.
Squat.
Heal CD. Heal CD. Heal CD.
Right. You weren't even in range of me.
Taunted. Mana Tide. Bloodlust.
Help soak.
Wind Rush.
Look, I mean, we asked for the bombs to be put in the middle. Not here.
Help soak.
Power in Anti-Magic Zone. Stampeding Roar.
Defensive.
Taunted.
These ones now go back to where we just came from.
Help soak.
Healing Tide. Gateway.
Help soak.
Spirit Link. Ancestral Guidance. Divine Hymn.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Make sure you turn to face the boss so we go a nice straight line away.
Help soak. Help soak.
Yeah. There's enough inside the soak. It's on the outer edges. No, just use it right here.
Specs, watch out for you.
Yeah, I mean, it used to have them just sort of at the start, but this one's kind of got it spread throughout, I think. Or actually, it's a lot easier to get to it. Let's put marks down for where we want the fucking bombs to go. So the bombs on phase 2 is going to the skull, the red, the yellow, the orange, and then the purple. Straight lines facing towards the boss. Does that make sense? I'm busy putting out the markers that I've forgot myself. Good to go in.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Power infusion.
Watch orb.
We move through. In the void will land here.
AOE incoming.
Group,
Anti-magic zone.
group 2, that's
Divine
right,
him.
one moves over. Use their in position for the next part. Here now. Comes out.
Watch orb.
And moves through.
Heal CD.
AOE incoming.
Heal CD.
Stampeding roar.
Heal CD.
Watch orb. AOE incoming.
Ancestral guidance. Anti-magic zone. Salvation. Healing tide.
Hit a bomb which goes to the skull.
Bloodlust.
So straight line facing towards the boss. You turn to face the boss. Straight lines you want to
Help
see.
soak. Defensive.
Taunted. Wind rush.
Help soak.
So
Anti-magic zone. Stampeding roar. Power infusion.
if you don't position yourself behind the boss, you're already in position for the bombs. You can't so you can be hit by the frontal.
Symbol of hope. Mana tide.
Towards where they just came from. Straight line, face the boss.
Help soak. Defensive.
Spirit link. Taunted.
Help soak.
Ancestral guidance.
Heal CD.
Shy, you're right on our side.
Target you.
Taunted.
Help soak.
LCD.
Help soak.
Divine him.
Defensive.
Taunted.
No, okay.
Help soak.
Healing tide.
Defensive. Help soak.
Anti-magic zone.
LCD.
Right, I'm calling raid. This isn't really going anywhere. And seems not feeling too good either. It's not so much about mojo, it's just watching out, looking up, look around. Like there's the biggest flaw I see with people, and this isn't again criticism, it's folk get this tunnel of vision effect. They get so fixated on their DPS that they forget that there's mechanics, or they leave it too late to deal with mechanic, or they don't look around and go, where's the tanks, where's the boss, where do I need to go? It's just a bit looking up and looking around.
Ours is a solemn burden.
Right, we'll start for the bottom, work our way up. In fact, no, we'll start at the top. We'll start with bragged feedback points. DK. No, the cone doesn't hit me whenever we swap. It looks as if it is. No, it's not. Because it's more if you get hit. Yeah, that was because I'd no DRs. I'd run out by the time I go over to the boss. Phil. Frosty. Shy. Yeah. So have you got the one that I've got? If you go into, is it in Discord? Did I put this? Yeah. The we call it the brags just put in. Look, move it about, put it where you want. Mine's, if you ever look at my stream, mine sits down next to my action bars. So whenever I'm doing keys, it's underneath where my group is, so that I can track it. So that I know when to stop for. Just go into recorders and you can fiddle about. It's lemon. Who's next on the hit list? So I'm scrolling along Discord. Vinksy. Senior. And Omega. Right, so the logs are already up. I've already put them on. You just need to get in about the look. Be analytical of yourselves. Look at what you're doing. Look at how it runs. You'll see, like I said there in the points I come up. There's trends within data. Look through it and see what you're doing. In terms of DPS to eye level, on the first fight, Sinear's putting out the most amount of DPS to eye level for her class. Then it's me, then Omega, then DK, then Ribber. So that means that the folk that was doing what you'd expect or higher on DPS is your tanks and healers. The next one that was close and was in the kind of good bracket is Fell in terms of percentage. And to show what I'm 4 because you were dead by the end of it. So if you look at Discord now, you will see what I'm looking at. So this is a summary from that fight, or not summary, it's looking at the damage done. And the call I'm looking at is this percentage one, which is based around your DPS and your eye level. So it then scores on that percentage. It also shows the activity of DPS you're doing as well. So you can see even Xeneir's doing 94% activity. Part of that will be like the healing rain and stuff, but there is other spells in amongst it. And then when you start breaking it down into like damage taken and the amount that's mitigated, so what you can see here, I mitigate far more damage because I've got direct mitigations. And the damage that I've taken versus like some others, like, there's a lot of mechanics that people are getting hit by that you can avoid. And then, yeah. And then you can see in terms of healing, now this is all because of different types of rotations. So you'll find that some people self-heal themselves, and where it's good that he's are self-healing themselves with some of your spells. Now DK's the exception to this because a lot of his self-healing is his normal rotation. this is where if your uptime on damage was more, it means the healers would need to do a little bit more. But at the same time, the fight would finish sooner, which then means the healers don't need to do as much more. Yeah. It's why you'll find on certain fights, my healing drops. The reason I drop my healing is because I use mitigation. So by standing in consecration, which is the one point I made I had to fix and do better at, means that I am mitigating more. Yeah, it's that first half of the bar. Like I said on Sunday as well, look, I asked some of you to look over this stuff. This is the sort of things I sit and look at quite regularly. I can explain to everyone what mechanics is what and why it's happening. I can give you tips on how to try and avoid it and what to look out for. So these are the mechanics on the first fight we're failing on as a guild. So it's not an individual thing, it's a guild because we all need to improve on things. So the first one is the swirly shit on the ground, which is whenever the boss hits 80, 60 and 40%. Like I said, set mechanics, set timers, set sequences. Where they go is unpredictable, but when it's going to happen is predictable. So you know that there's going to be a movement phase at 80, 60 and 40. And then the next one, which is stood in the rifts. Yeah, it's the shit on the ground after. So it's either been knocked into it or it's running through it to get from point A to point B because it's the exact same type of puddle. 110 times as a guild folk ran through it. So that's the only two mechanics that we're not achieving on that first fight. The rest of it is doing really well. Look, it shows nobody died on that run by the time we killed it. There's a couple of things needing some fine tweaking points. And then some stuff that's going really well. Like folk using their hellstones and stuff. But again, this comes back to if you weren't running through those mechanics, then you wouldn't need to use your hellstones. That's downtime to click, which then translates back into damage done. Does that make sense to what I'm trying to explain to people? And this is by no means criticism. This is me just trying to highlight things to you to get you into the concept of what can I do better? How do I find out what I can do better at? And like I've said, MD that wants me to sit down and show you how to strip through combat logs, Warcraft logs, the Whitefest stuff, the WoW Analyzer. Get a couple of folk together. Yeah, but it gives at least an indicator on some stuff. Yeah. It points out things, so I'm going to pick on myself on this one. So the WoW Analyzer pointed out that I wasn't standing consecration enough. It's not quite as high as it should have been, but my active shield mitigation's back up. Look, this is how I have improved as a player. I've worked at these points one by one to see what I can do better at. Avengers Shield's never going to go up because I don't particularly like it, because then I can't get a healing ability from it. If I used to be able to get my healing ability, I'd use Avengers Shield over Hammer of Righteous and stuff, but yeah. So there's only really 1 point on yours, which is that one. Overcapping. Oh, this one. Dancing Rune. Yeah. So hang on, I'll take this right back to very basics. Give me 1 second just to change my screen. Change window, monitor 1, go live. Right, on Discord, you'll see in Guild News right now, there's this post. This is a pre-post, which then generates the Warcraft log. So the combat logs. Now the ones that are in there is from my Mythic Dungeons from the other day there. In a couple of hours, was that your one? Oh, right. Oh yeah. So you can see there who is uploaded. So for instance, if it's a raid, it will tell you the date and time and everything that happened, how many pools and everything. You can go to Warcraft logs, go to Whitefest, go to WoW Analyzer. I'll take WoW Analyzer for this one, and that shows those bosses. So this is last week's by the looks of it. On normal. So this, yeah, last week's normal. So no, this is last, because it's first, second, yeah, sorry, Sunday. So all you do is, once you get to this part, is you then click the fight you want. So look at the first fight, pick out who it is you want to look at, and then it will show you. So there you can see there was a point I was working on, and on Sunday I actually did achieve it. And it allows you to break it down. What you can do is you can go into the website directly, and if you know the Warcraft log that you want, or the guild, then you can simply just search who you're looking for, and you'll be able to pull up what it is you need. Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's always... Oh, I didn't even fucking spell it right. That's not even going to generate. So there you can see all the logs that has been uploaded. Mostly mine's. DK's been uploading stuff in the background. So you can even look at his stuff if he's been doing keys with you. And you can use this as well for when you're running keys. So you can see who's done what keys. So there you go, Shy. There's ones with you in it. Yeah. Yeah, it takes it from start of the pool right to the very end. So the more that you've got consistent pull, the better it is, because you've not got downtime. If there's sort of walking about and running about or waiting for something to fall off like debuffs, then it'll have a slightly different outcome. But like I says, if MD wants to know how to pick the data apart and how to interpret it, especially Warcraft logs, because Warcraft logs itself has got a lot of information. It can be quite intimidating to look at and to try and understand what it's saying. But there's really, really useful information in it, which allows you to go and look at how other players have got gear, what talents they've got. Now, the point that DK brought out, which is you joined GG, isn't it? Let me just click on it. So the website EU.gg Warcraft, you can then go in and look at potentially what it is you want to be running. Mega, can you remember their website, the one that I gave you the other day there? Loris, hang on. Yeah. So yeah, that one there, if you're trying to... Those that are in House Stark, this is what we're going to start working towards. Because that's where our best in slots is. So that's what we'll start working towards for gearing, because we've now got to a point where we're at that stage that we can start being picky and choosy over gear. For healers, in fact every class, to work out when you're meant to be using your major cooldowns or when's the most common use time for it, then you can pair it up around mechanics that is happening to see when other people are using it. So you can see here, look, these are the first mechanics, so shedding its wings and stuff. You can see, look, when Ashamis tend to use certain spells at different points. If we jump back a second. Hunters. What type of hunters are these? Marksmans. So there you can see, look, if you go through the fight, you can see when certain things have been done. So you can see, look, when did they use mitigation? Well, it's mostly around this back end, around that mechanic. are they turtling at any point? Some of them at the back end because of that mechanic. So you try and look to see where's the most commonly used things. So that's been 3 sets of mechanics where those abilities are kind of coming in. And that's pretty much every time it's came off cooldown, that one's been used. It looks like only one of them had talented for that. And again, every time it comes off cooldown. So you get a bit of an idea of when folks using certain things in order to deal with certain bits. It also lets me look at when most groups bloodlust and why we put bloodlust in at certain phases. I know this is quite overwhelming for a lot of the time, but just try and take little bits of what I'm saying and start looking at it. Like, don't try and do everything at once. Like, read up a little bit, try and work out what it's telling you, build up your knowledge, and over time you will get better. Andy, anything they want to add or ask me before we disappear for the night? Little bit at a time. Gradual learning process. We get better as a group. There's no I in team, but there's certainly a you in. Right. I'm going to disappear, guys, but good effort, and don't get too disheartened. Use the logs, look it up, see what you can work on, see what parts is the one thing that you want to try and improve on for next week or the next time we do that raid or that fight. We used to sit down as a guild and do it, but what we found the problem was by doing it is that the people that needed help never turned up, and those that actually really didn't need much help were there every week. It's one of these things you just need to... It sounds like homework, it feels like homework, but if you want to progress at the game, you need to put in a little bit of wrench time in the background. Miracles don't happen because you hope that they do. They happen because people work hard at it. And I'm not saying that you spend hours and hours at it. It's just chunks of time here and there. Cool. Yeah, I'm heading off as well. I'm going to go and get food and stuff. Laters. For MD watching, yes, this is a bit of an early finish for stream. Simply because it's just not quite early night. People are frustrated, people are warm, tired, hungry, whatever it is. It happens. I was sitting back to watch rather than calling out stuff because I wanted to get an idea where people weren't picking up, and by doing silent strats then you can kind of see what's happening and you can get an idea of what would work better. But overall, we're where we're at, and I will be on tomorrow from the afternoon. I'll be doing keys and stuff on my own, and then finish up tomorrow night with guild keys. That's going to be good. So yeah, I'll catch you all later on. Cheers! Laters.